Yeah, I'll react to that, sure. Okay, gentlemen and ladies, I do not care what is in between your legs. Let's go. Yeah, first video of the day. I'm ready, though. I'm actually pretty up, especially compared to what I'm usually like during the first video. Probably helps by the fact it's 3 p.m., 4 p.m. I'm talking about non-fighter jet related stuff. I'll stop. Let's go. Eurofighter Typhoon, any aircraft, any mission? Sure. Guys, I looked up, I wanted to find out, what's the top fighter jet for each nation, and then I can do a kind of react video on that. Usually Real Engineering or Mega Projects has one. So, if this isn't the top sort of NATO, Europe defending jet, then let me know, and I will react to a better one, all right? Let's go. You can't hear. You can't hear.
Greens is a comprehensive all-in-one greens powder engineered to fill the nutritional gaps in your diet and support your body's nutritional needs across 4 pillars of health: gut health, immune support, energy, and recovery. It's packed with 75 vitamins and minerals, whole food sourced ingredients, combining the perfect amount of micronutrients, absorption, and taste to jumpstart your daily routine. You'd be hard-pressed to find a more comprehensive powder or supplement on the market.
I don't know a lot about a lot
I'm not
of
exactly a
things,
fitness
and
YouTuber, but I do like to take care of myself, and I also know that I don't have the perfect diet. There are holes in it, but what do I do? I rely on AG1 to fill those holes. What I do in the morning, I take a scoop from this tin, I pop it into this shaker, I shake it all up, and then, obviously, I drink it. Plus, AG1 is gluten-free, dairy-free, paleo, vegan, keto, low allergen, and low calorie, less than 1 gram of sugar per serving. Brilliant.
Vegan?
One of the things I personally like about it, I feel it gives me sustained energy throughout the day. I drink it with my coffee in the morning. I feel it just keeps me going, which is...
So if you're a vegan, you can already not eat a bunch of stuff. If you're a paleo vegan, is that even less stuff you can eat?
Is nice. AG1 is the perfect dietary support regimen. So if this sounds like something that you are looking for, then you can grab your own immunity bundle, which includes a 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free travel packs, all by going to athleticgreens.com/megaprojects. Again, year supply of vitamin D, the travel packs for free, 5 of them at athleticgreens.com/megaprojects, or just click the link below. And now today's video.
All animal-derived foods. I thought that's what vegan is. Okay.
Any aircraft, any mission. This is the supremely confident slogan of one of the most advanced fighter planes in the world. According to Eurofighter.com, it is the world's most advanced swing-roll combat aircraft, providing simultaneously deployable air-to-air and air-to-surface capabilities, and it has demonstrated and continues to demonstrate high reliability across
1, 2, 3, 4. Is that another bomb? 5, 6. So 12 bombs. 1, 2, 3, 4. Jesus, how does that fly?
In all climates. It has been combat proven during operations in Libya, Iraq, and Syria. But just exactly what is this incredible aircraft, and how did it come to be? Well, today we're going to answer those questions as we take a look into the past, the present, and the predicted future of the Eurofighter Typhoon. The origins of the Typhoon can be traced back as far as 1979, when British Aerospace and Messerschmitt Bölkow Blohm, or MBB, began lobbying their respective governments for a collaborative fighter plane program to be known as the European Combat Fighter.
Hold on, it was Britain and who? Britain and who?
The origin Bölkow Blohm, or MBB, as far as 1979, when British Aerospace and Messerschmitt Bölkow Blohm, or MBB, began
Is that Germany?
lobbying their respective governments for a collaborative fighter plane program to be known as the European Combat Fighter, or ECF. The duo would become a threesome later that year when French company Dassault also signed up, and it was about this time that the name Eurofighter was first used. Due to a myriad of financial issues, including Dassault demanding creative control of the project, German financial instability brought on by the unification of East and West Germany, and general disagreements over design and production, production, it would not be until the 22nd of December 1997, almost 3 years after the maiden flight of the final prototype, that the defense ministers of the now 4 involved nations, the UK, Germany, Italy, and Spain, would finally sign the contract which would give the go-ahead for the production of the Eurofighter. 6 years later, on the 13th of February 2003, the first production Eurofighter would take flight from Manchingen in Germany, with Britain and Italy carrying out their own maiden flights the very next day. The era of the Eurofighter had begun. So, just what was it about this aircraft that was so revolutionary? To begin with, the aircraft was intentionally designed to be aerodynamically unstable when traveling at subsonic speeds, and actually requires an extremely sophisticated computer system to assist the pilot in maintaining level flight. Although, at first glance, this may appear counterproductive, it actually provides a number of benefits, the most important of which is the ability to perform highly complex aerial maneuvers when traveling at supersonic speeds. This enhanced maneuverability.
This might sound stupid. I don't care. I have a question. How can the plane... What is the purpose of the tail wing if flying upside down is also perfectly fine? You know, you can fly upside down on a plane, but... And in that case, why not have like a fish of a upper and lower tail fin?
Provides a number of benefits, the most important of which is the ability to perform highly complex aerial maneuvers when traveling at supersonic speeds. This enhanced maneuverability is made possible because once the aircraft breaks the sound barrier, the center of gravity actually shifts towards the rear of the craft, meaning that it's far more maneuverable at higher speeds. In addition to this, the instability actually considerably reduces air resistance, which allows the Typhoon to maintain supersonic flight without the use of afterburners.
Does anyone know why at supersonic the gravity changes, the center of gravity changes in the plane? Why does speed affect that?
This considerably reduces the
Is it because when
aircraft in supersonic flight without the use of afterburners? This considerably reduces the aircraft's heat profile, making it more difficult to detect, which is also an extremely desirable trait in any military aircraft. This prolonged supersonic cruising is all made possible by the 2 EJ200 engines, developed specifically for the Eurofighter by Eurojet Turbo GmbH, an international consortium consisting of MTU, Rolls-Royce, Avio Aero, and ITP Aero. These engines are each capable of producing 13,500 pounds force of thrust without using afterburners and 20,000 pound force with afterburners on. This extraordinary power gives the Eurofighter a top speed of 1,515 miles per hour, or approximately twice the speed of sound. Perhaps surprising.
How fast does a bullet go? Let's do from a pistol. So on the low end, 1,700. Oh my God, where was it? So this plane at its top speed is going a few hundred miles an hour shy of a bullet from a pistol. I didn't want to shoot type in a rifle because clearly that's going to be faster.
Surprisingly, these engines were not just designed with speed in mind, though. Constructed out of 15 fully interchangeable modules, they're considered easier to work on and repair than engines on other aircraft. The integrated health monitoring and life cycle monitoring capabilities also make fault diagnosis and detection of potential future issues far less time-consuming. Although these engines are among the quietest in their class, making the Eurofighter a comparatively silent aircraft, they are by no means actually quiet. Whilst carrying out research for this video, we actually spoke with a former senior aircraftsman, or SAC, and he had this to say about the time he spent refueling the aircraft. My job was aircraft refueling, and on one occasion, I was doing something called a hot refuel. A hot refuel is when you go out, drag your hoses out, the engineer turns up, and the replacement pilot turns up. The aircraft lands, maneuvers around to where you have your hoses, the pilot jumps out, the new pilot jumps in, and the aircraft gets refueled and then takes off again. The process takes about 10 minutes. That is why it's called a hot refuel. The idea is, in a conflict situation, you need to be able to turn the aircraft around that quickly.
I picture like you know, in NASCAR or any NASCAR over, but I'm sure they do it in Formula 1 too, where you have the pit stop people and they go in and then just go zit 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 zit, and then back, and then just go. So same
That the
concept.
previous pilot has not expended any of the ammunition. The plane can land, switch pilots, refuel, and be flying again within 10 minutes. On this occasion, just before the plane landed, I realized that I had forgotten my ear defenders. Obviously, they're only 10 meters away from this thing, and it is loud. It's so loud that it's only possible to communicate via hand gestures during this process. The resulting damage to my hearing was so bad that I was actually transferred to another base whilst it recovered. Obviously, I never explained to my superiors that it had been due to my lack of ear protection. Although not primarily
You don't get severance.
designed as a stealth plane, the Eurofighter does possess several features which are designed to make it less detectable. According to some early promotional material, to quote, the aircraft is built with advanced composite materials to deliver a low radar profile and strong airframe. Only 15% of the aircraft's surface is metal, delivering stealth operation and protection from radar-based systems. The latest models are also equipped with the new Praetorian Defensive Aid subsystem, which, according to its manufacturer, employs a range of electronic countermeasures allowing it to digitally hide its signature or to generate radar noise to confuse enemy radar operators. Aside from all of this,
I want to know how radar works. Like, you know, with the Black Hawk, like where it's like perfectly black. I don't know if the color has anything to do with the radar detection. I'm assuming not. But just like the certain angles on it. And I just like to learn how a radar signal interacts with an object and how just putting certain, I heard like it would have the radar cross section of a bee, and I'm talking about a giant stealth plane, and I just kind of, I know it'll probably go over my head because I won't get it, but I'd like to try and understand it.
It's perhaps the Eurofighter's own sensor capabilities that are the most impressive. The Pirate Infrared Search and Track (IRST) system is capable of both tracking and targeting multiple enemy aircraft through the use of passive sensors. These sensors are designed to lock onto the heat signatures of opposing aircraft, and as such, they do not emit any detectable energy that could potentially give away the Eurofighter's position. Once a target has been acquired, be it in the air, on land, or water, pilots have at their disposal an impressive array of weaponry from which to choose. For close-up encounters, the fighter has an internally mounted Mauser BK 27mm gun, which is capable of firing a wide range of ammunition types, including air-to-air, high explosive, air-to-ground, and armor-piercing rounds at 1,700 rounds per minute. In addition to this, the Eurofighter is also capable of carrying a mix of up to 12 different types of missiles and bombs, including the MBDA Storm Shadow / Scalp EG standoff cruise missile and the MBDA Brimstone anti-armor missile, both of which have proven their effectiveness on countless occasions. Now, on paper, this is all very impressive, but how effective would this weapon system be in a real combat environment? Between 2003 and 2005, the Eurofighter Typhoon was introduced into service to general acclaim. According to one Italian pilot who...
I have to ask, why is it that on an airplane you don't need all of like the force stabilizers, but even like ever since, you know, just bow and arrow, and they had the same kind of design on the back of it, they could tell it stabilized it. Why don't planes use the same thing? Is it because planes are just more... Is it because the wings provide a lift that makes that not necessary, or...
occasions. Now, on paper, this is all very impressive, but how effective would this weapon system be in a real combat environment? Between 2003 and 2005, the Eurofighter Typhoon was introduced into service to general acclaim. According to one Italian pilot who participated in Eurofighter air patrols during the 2006 Winter Olympics, the Typhoon is in a different league. Nothing I had flown previously could have possibly prepared me for the incredible speed and agility that this aircraft is capable of. In an interview for Hushkit and Aviation magazine, Steve Formoso, a Typhoon pilot, remarked in response to the question, "What were your first impressions of flying the Typhoon?" with, "The thrust that the Typhoon has is ferocious, something that I personally don't think you ever get used to. The fact that you can backstick the controls and know that the aircraft will limit the G means that you can pull straight to 9G. And trust me, that hurts every single time." The prolonged exposure to such high levels of G-force presents a serious problem for these pilots. In order to remain conscious, they have to wear special flight suits which automatically inflate
squeeze their
as
bodies.
G-forces increase. Without these suits literally squeezing blood back up to the brain, a pilot experiencing high levels of G-force would be unconscious in a matter of seconds. But perhaps the highest praise of the Eurofighter came from the former American Air Force Chief of Staff, John P. Jumper, who is the only person that has flown both the Eurofighter Typhoon and the F-22 Raptor, arguably the most advanced stealth fighter in the world. To quote, "The Eurofighter is certainly, as far as smoothness of controls and the ability to pull and sustain high G-forces, very impressive. The avionics, the color-moving map displays, etc., all absolutely top-notch. The maneuverability of the airplane in close-in combat was also very impressive." Although, as previously mentioned, the Eurofighter has been successfully deployed in Libya, Iraq, and Syria, its main job, in the United Kingdom at least, is as a QRA, or Quick Reaction Response aircraft. A team of Eurofighter pilots is on call 24 hours a day to respond to any potential threat.
You notice how you never see I've never seen a single pilot in the military with glasses on. And as someone who doesn't have great eyesight, it's like, which makes sense. I mean, if you are just as good of a pilot as someone else, but the only difference is they have better vision than you, then I'm gonna pick that person every time. But just like, I've never seen a pair of glasses on a pilot.
According to the gov.uk website, in an article from 2012, Quick Reaction Response operates out of two separate bases in order to maximize efficiency. Lushars generally covers the northern sector, while Coningsby provides QRA in the south, which includes looking after London and events such as the Olympics. Southern QRA transferred temporarily to RAF Northolt in West London during the Games to add to the mix of military assets, ensuring their safety. Flight Lieutenant Noel Rees of the 29th Reserve Squadron explains that at the start of the scaled QRA response, civilian air traffic controllers might see on their screens an aircraft behaving erratically, not responding to their radio calls, or note that it's transmitting a distress signal through its transponder. Rather than scramble Typhoons at the first hint of something abnormal, a controller has the option to put them on a higher level of alert, a call to cockpit. In this scenario, the pilot races to the hardened aircraft shelter and does everything short of starting his engines. From this posture, a controller can monitor a situation, knowing that a scramble can be conducted in moments. Indeed, just such a scramble made the news in 2016 when two Eurofighters were dispatched from RAF Coningsby to intercept an Air France passenger plane, which was not responding due to a radio communication problem. According to Newsroom.com, as a result of the sonic boom caused by the aircraft travelling at supersonic speeds, quote, "Houses shook as the planes flew over Yorkshire to identify the unresponsive aircraft and accompany it to land at Newcastle Airport." Although aircraft are not usually permitted to fly at supersonic speeds when travelling over land, this rule is understandably dropped when there might be an active threat. Fortunately, this incident would turn out to be nothing sinister. Although the Eurofighter is undoubtedly an incredible machine, it also comes with an incredible cost. In addition to the initial price tag of approximately $90 million, or about £74.5 million.
I was about to say, that's it. 90 million, that's it? For some reason, I expected it to be a lot more expensive. But obviously, $90 billion is a lot of... 90
The running
million.
costs are simply astronomical. A source for this piece told us
90 million. So how much does like a B-52... How much does like a big combat airplane cost? Or maybe they don't cost as much because... Well, you're probably going to have a lot more technology packed into the jet.
During 2009, me and some of the guys sat down and worked out just how much it costs to keep one of these planes going, taking into account the price of jet fuel, engineers' wages, pilots' wages, air traffic controllers, and everything. The number we came up with was approximately £100,000 per hour. Partly for cost-cutting reasons, and partly for logistics, in 2014, Quick Reaction Response was permanently relocated from Luchars to RAF Lossiemouth in Scotland. Regardless of the costs, the Eurofighter does not appear to be going away anytime soon, with no serious all-round contender, plus the fact that it is constantly undergoing both hardware and software upgrades to keep it at the cutting edge. The Eurofighter Typhoon is predicted to remain in action until at least 2040, and possibly beyond.
All right, love you guys. Hope you're all doing well. If not, chin up. You'll be good soon. Don't worry. And if you could answer my questions, I'd really appreciate it. I know it's, why not the tail wing on. Anyways, see you guys next time. Bye, guys.